Okay, so today we're gonna look at how to compose a mail over the mass mailing system that's available from SPE, which is called Informz. So on the SPE homepage, you go to membership under professionals, hit sections, section operations, resource center, operations, quick links, broadcast mail, broadcast service login. So that's gonna open in a new tab. It was a bit unresponsive for me, so I double clicked. It just doesn't seem to be just as slightly. Okay, so you can probably bookmark directly, so you don't have to go through all of the clicking of multiple links to reach this point. Um, as I'm no longer an SD section officer, I'm using Clayton's account to log in. But you use your own account, obviously. So this is more or less the home page of the Inform system. On it you'll see displayed the recently sent mailings, and you can click on any one of these to see the metrics associated with it. But we won't go into that here. You can explore that any one time. So what you want to do is you want to come up here on the left hand side, come to mailings, go and create mailing. So they've got these useful instructions. You can take a read of them if you want to. I'm just going to proceed with what I know to be true. So there are four main steps in sending an email. Well, the third step is actually optional, which is testing. So the setup in which you specify the name of the email that you'll be sending out, because this resides in a large folder for all the emails that we send afterwards. So you want to come back to it and be able to identify at a moment's glance which one it is that you had previously sent or are still working on. So for this one, we're going to use as name mail. So the folder that you put a mail in, we have different folders available. Um, and they're sort of self-explanatory. Mails relating to the 2018 and 2016 conferences would have fell in these respective folders. We have events, YP, advertisement. We can just leave this in the main folder for now. Template, you have just a couple to choose from, which is the basic email and the newsletter. We no longer compose the newsletter within the newsletter format here. As you know, we compose a PDF and send it out as a download link. So what we'll be using is the basic email. You don't use this testing function in the two you can select the target groups for your entire mailing, and these are the target groups that are available. You choose from the Personify 360 market list, and all of these are available. Note that you can only select one target group at one time. So I can either send this mail to members without professional members, excluding students, members and students, members unpaid, and so forth. There is another way to send the mail to more than one group at once, which is specify the target group for each story. But I will come back to that later and I will show you how to do that. The third option is to enter email address for the entire mailing. You can enter up to 15 email addresses here, but note that it can only be email addresses that are registered to SPE users. So they must have been the email address that they registered with the SPE account. So if I send myself a mail to my Gmail address, for example, it's not going to send because my email that I use is k_ramcharit@hotmail.com for SPE. So let's stick with the target group for now. Members, no students. In here, I can write the subject, and you can put personalization, which is really HTML code in the subject line to say, hey Kamlesh, and then the rest of the email subject line if you want by clicking on this personalization here. Please select type, personal info, no that's not it, Informz. So I can choose any one of these to insert into the subject line. So let's try first name here. And it's going to put in this HTML code, which is going to display basically the first name of the person that's associated with that email address. So I can put hey before this and put a comma after it. And I can put just test email here. And I've specified the subject line. In the reply to email address, we can put SPE section at gmail.com, and we can also put another email address example. And you hit save. So the second tab is design, where you will actually create the content for the email. So you come here and click on create story. Maybe you didn't see that. Create story. These headers and the footer remains fixed for this type of email format. So this is how the email is going to appear on top. Side of picture image is create story, and given a name to this, you can, what a story really is, as I've discovered, is just like separate blocks of the same email, um, separate blocks of HTML code within the same email, so you can split up the objects in an email like that. So for most emails, we just have one story. So you can just name this main if you want to. And you have a couple different tools here, but it's similar to word processor in some aspects, and then um, dissimilar in some other aspects. So as with the personalization in subject line, we can also add that here. So I can type in hey, and then select first name, comma, and then I can type in, well, this is a test. Please reply. So you can insert images by clicking on the picture tooltip, insert edit image, which brings you to this dialog, and you click here to select from the picture manager of Informz. So you can see all of the images that have been uploaded in the past, and you can select from those, or you can upload your own. So I can select any of these images here, and then when I click open, um, it's gonna upload it. So I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm not gonna select that option because many of these images have already been uploaded anyway, and it will say there's some sort of conflict, but that's the procedure. So let's just select the image that we've uploaded in the past. Let's select this conference logo, for example. Click insert. Then it's going to ask you to specify the dimensions, and the constraint proportions is just so that it will keep the object in the same geometry when you change the width or the height. So this is pretty large, so let's change this to 650 so it will fit the entire width of the email. Alignment helps you choose where it's going to appear in the orientation of the email. Let's just choose middle, and let's insert that image. Okay, so we have our image inserted. If we wanted to link this image to a URL, and we should tell the email recipient that it is a link. We can type in first here, click image below. You select the image by just clicking on it, and it becomes highlighted. And you go up here to this tooltip saying insert edit hyperlink. Click it. Hyperlink type. You can choose either to link it to a web page, email address. So when you click the image, the email pops up with reply to the email address that you have specified. A document, so the email recipient can download the document from the server. And well, I haven't used the rest of these options. So let's just choose web page for now. Let's choose as a test, just choose SPE.org. You give a name to this link so that any metrics afterwards when you're looking at if the user had opened the link by clicking on it. And if you have more than one links in the email, you can identify which link was clicked. So let's just say name this SP link. You have the option to disable tracking, and therefore the metrics would not be collected. But let's leave it on here now. Insert hyperlink, and your image has now been linked. So what else? Um, so similarly, you can insert, any sort of link by highlighting text and performing the same actions. So you can paste the URL to a Google Doc survey in there as well and make it hyperlinked and achieve the same effect. Um, Note that Informz recommends that you don't paste URLs in link formats in emails because um, some spam filters block emails with links like that, and that's something we have to work around. So let's just okay. Well, some other things you can explore, just like changing the font. Change the font size, make it larger. You can make it bold. Um, Italic, underline, things like that. So let's just finish the meal. You can put your particulars below. So one of the troublesome things with this tool is that sometimes sometimes how it's being displayed here is not exactly how it's going to be displayed within the email recipient's inbox. So I like to use a free HTML editor online to make sure as much as possible that it displays correctly. So how we do that, because if I click save, if I click save here, then it saves the email, and you can see that from where we were just a moment ago, the writing here looks much smaller than it looked in the dialog window, which is one of the challenges with the fonts. They never really seem to appear as you want them to. So a way around that is by using the HTML editor. So you come onto this tooltip, which is the source code for the HTML. Click it, and this is what the HTML looks like. You can copy this. You can just use the keyboard shortcut Control and C. Copy that, and you open a new tab or window, and you go to HTML. So that's one of the free ones. It's got a similar layout, and you can paste that in the right hand side here. The source code that you captured or copied, paste it, and now you see exactly how it should appear. So you can make edits to the size here. This one, it looked like it actually changed it a little bit. So you can increase the font size here. That didn't work properly. Okay, now it's increasing the font size of the source code itself, which is not helpful. So one way to increase the font size is by clicking on Format and clicking on heading 4, for example, or heading 3, which also makes it bold. And it changes the source code simultaneously while you're doing this. So you can have a look around and see if there are any other better free HTML editors online. But essentially, what you want is to get a direct preview of what the final email is going to look like within this window. And once you're happy with it, you can copy back this source code, and you've got all your images, your hyperlinks, and everything else still available within there. So you can copy this back and go back to your Informz window and replace that source code with the one from your other HTML editor. So you click Update, you click Save, and once you're sure and you're happy with it, you actually have an option to test the email to you at this point by clicking Email to you. But right now, as I'm logged into Clayton's account, if I hit Email to me, it's going to email to Clayton actually. So if I want to test this to me, then I can go on Test, Send Test. It's going to ask me to send both types. You can either send HTML, where everything will display nicely, or send it text, which will look similar to how stuff looks in Notepad format. So let's select all stories. It's just a single story here, and Clayton's email pops up automatically. You can edit manually which email addresses you want to send to. So it's just gonna send an addition to the subject line saying Informz test. And once you're happy with it, you can change edit test replies to Clayton, but I won't reply to Clayton. So just hit send. And I'm sure I would pretty much see it in my inbox. So that's it for testing, sending. This is your basic information for sending. This is the name of it as it will appear in the folder for Informz. This is the subject line, how it will appear to the email recipient. These are the recipients that you're sending to. So this will be like all just shy of 300 professional members we have in SPE. The sender, it would appear as Trinidad_T@spemail.org, and the reply addresses in this case are our Gmail address and my address. So you can either use the schedule mail system, or you can send emailing now. The schedule mailing, the calendar will display the emails that we currently have scheduled, and let's see if we have any scheduled. So it shows the past one as well, and we had one sent out a reminder for the session on Monday. So we have none scheduled within this month. Again. So schedule mailing, there are a bunch of different options. You can send email in once, you can send it repeatedly, and you can basically read through this, but I typically choose to just send it once, leave it on standard. These options are different options to get around filters that might flag the mail as spam. So if you choose once and we choose, for example, if we choose to send it tomorrow, you can choose Thursday, and then we can set the time, by changing the time with the slider bars here. And when you're done, you're just gonna have to click done and click on yes, schedule mail. But we're not actually gonna send this mail, as it's just a test format being created. So I'm just gonna click no instead. So alternatively, you have the option of send an email right now. So you can just click send mail. But again, I'm not actually sending this mail. So that's pretty much it for sending a single type story. I'll just show you how to send the same mail to multiple groups simultaneously. So you can go back to setup, and on 2, click edit, and instead we see specify a target group for each story. Click update, click save, back onto the design tab, and now what we want to do is we go on to editing the story. When you put the mouse on the story, you'll see these tooltips pop up. So you click on edit, and on the name here now, you can specify that this mail is going to be sent to members. And for example, one reason why you'd want to do this is maybe you'd want to send each target group a slightly different story. So maybe you might want to remind students in the same mail that they have an upcoming event at some later date, for example, or maybe in the members one here, you can put just change the color here. Where's the color? Red. Remember to renew your membership. So this message would only be applicable to professional members because this is what you have selected for the story. Members, no students. So you can save this. And to send the same, well, essentially the same mail or same batch of mails to another group, create story. What you can do is you can copy most of this stuff over and edit it slightly. So let's just do it via the source code. Control C, create, cancel, create story, and you paste the source code. and you specify now the target group, main folder, no, personify, and you select students only, for example. So maybe for this, you don't want to send the students any additional message, so you just take off the renew your membership for the students. And give this the same name, same name, and you just hit save. So now you've got two stories in the same batch mail that's going to be sent out. One that's targeted to members and one that's targeted to students, professional members, that is. So this is just to illustrate that you can edit the message slightly depending on the target group. So as before, you can test this to a specific group, or you can email to yourself if you're logged in. But in this case, let's just say that you're ready to send. So the same option applies. You can schedule it or send it now. And now in the target groups, you're seeing more than one target group available. So when you hit send or you schedule a mail, this mail is going to be sent out to the students and professional members. So that's basically it. Feel free to reach out to me if you have additional questions. That's it for now.